This is a headline in the Mirror, December 15th. UK's sons and daughters need to be ready for war with Russia, warns top general. The head of Britain's armed forces, Air Chief Marshal Sir Richard Knighton, warned more families will know what sacrifice for our nation means as he spoke of the rising threat from Vladimir Putin. Are you serious? Are you serious? You know, Britain doesn't rule the waves anymore. The British Empire, once the mightiest empire in history, the one on which the sun ever set, is gone. We can argue about the reasons why it's gone. But people like Starmer are flushing it further down the toilet. These people portraying Vladimir Putin as a lunatic. I don't agree with the invasion of Ukraine. I think it's absolutely terrible business, the loss of life, mostly young men. But there's a lot more to it than Mad Vlad. Dan Bongino and others have pointed out the American involvement in Ukraine and some of the things they were doing there. And I'm old enough to remember when the Soviet Union fell. There was talk then of Russia being invited to join NATO. If that had happened, I mean, the world would be in a much safer place. We'd have had probably none of this business in the Middle East. No wars in the Middle East. No invasion of Iraq. Probably no 9/11 either. Well, that preceded the invasion of Iraq, which 9/11 was a pretext for it. The implosion of Syria, Colonel Gaddafi wouldn't have been overthrown. None of this business with Palestine. It would have been a much better world. And I mean, this is actually Russophobia. Let's call it what it is. How are we going to stop this war? The Ukraine, I don't know. I mean, this is, Trump thought he could, but so apparently there's a lot more to it than, I don't know, but the idea that Britain should have any involvement with it, and why should we? Russia invaded Ukraine, yeah. Britain is being invaded, and our government, such as it is doing nothing to stop the invasion. It's actually facilitating it. We're having girls, teenage girls being raped. At least 3 people have been murdered by these invaders. The young mother, Rhiannon White, was murdered in Warsaw. A bloke was murdered at a bank at Derby, and another one, ordinary bloke at Uxbridge. Increased terrorist menace, and our government is becoming more and more repressive. People are pointing out that there's hardly any people arrested for posts on social media in Russia. Well, here it's in the thousands for innocuous stuff. They're destroying our farming industry, destroying private schools. They're imposing ludicrously, I mean, the digital ID and everything that goes with it. So why should we fight Russia? For freedom? What freedom? This is insane. What is the solution? I don't know. Hopefully Trump and company come up with something, but the idea that Britain should be declaring war on Russia or involved in war with Russia, no, absolutely not.